The views and opinions expressed on this program do not reflect the company, owners, management, staff, clients, or partners.
Welcome to Bermuda's Daily Talk Show. It's the Daily Hour.
ChatGPT did become the world's most downloaded non-gaming app.
Literally the job of everyone in government to address the media and the public.
What are your thoughts, audience? What are your thoughts on Zandy Silva as the deputy PLP leader?
A community that can't feed itself is a community that can.
What you may not know, though, is that Bermuda, we have a connection with Epstein, too.
Things that people are doing right, the youth are doing right, that is not being advertised enough.
When you see your access to U.S. dollars disappear, that's when you have a problem.
If you've got a town in the UK with a similar sized population, this place absolutely outshines it.
It's Wednesday, the 21st day of January, 2026. Welcome to Bermuda's Daily Talk Show. It's the Daily Hour, brought to you by the BAC Group of Companies, Medical House Lindos, People's Pharmacy, and big love to Hot 1075 for ensuring that we can pump through the radio airwaves with these most important community conversations. I'm Jamal Hartman, and we'll have a news break from Teo Dill in a bit. Folks, also the 2026 Bermuda Idol Finals will be held in March again this year, and the winner will receive a beautiful trophy and $5,000. There'll be over $10,000 awarded in additional prizes to various contestants to make the finals. So be sure to audition this Saturday at Hot 1075, anytime between 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. If you bring your best voice and song choice, 2026 could be your year. So why not audition this Saturday between 1 and 3 p.m. during the open auditions at Hot 1075. You must be Bermudian or married to a Bermudian. Man, I should I'm not. If I audition, you all gonna be, nope, I'm not giving you the pleasure of hating on me. Nope, not doing it. But no, seriously, anyone, if you know anyone who is talented enough and you believe that they have the ability and they like a little competition and they want to win some money, go to Hot 1075 headquarters at the BIU building this Saturday between 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. or take them if they need a ride. I've seen some awesomely talented people show up, people who I did not even know could sing well, participate in Bermuda Idol. So it's a fantastic opportunity. Big up to Inter-Island Communications. Once again, I mean, that's been going on for years, and it would not be possible without the support of the community. So big up to them. Suzanne Ingham says it's a super awesome Wednesday, Jamal. We are alive and functioning, and TDH is back in his house. Yes, we are, and it is super awesome because you are here with us in his house. All right, folks. Well, greetings, everyone, and thanks for making us part of your daily routine. A good one today as we welcome the Executive Director of the Human Rights Commission, Lisa Reed, on. We're going to be discussing the public consultation on age discrimination. Looking forward to that. The Daily Play is going to be music related today. And don't forget to subscribe on our website. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. We are going to jump right into it. Here are your questions of the morning. What are your thoughts on local retailers shutting their doors? And do you believe Bermuda is doing enough to protect local cultural spaces and retailers? Well, what am I on about this morning, you may be asking? Well, folks, what am I on about this morning? I'll give you this. Before we even talk about retail, we need to talk about culture, because they are kind of almost one and the same. Recently, the Music Box announced it was closing after decades of service, a place that wasn't just a business, but a home for Bermudian music, live performance, creativity, and community. Generations passed through those doors, musicians, fans, tourists, and locals alike. The music box wasn't just somewhere you went, it was somewhere you belonged. I remember when I went out and got me a job packing groceries. I did it for two reasons: to spend my money at leisure time, to get video games, and to purchase music at Music Box, whether it was Lionel Richie or Boys to Men. That's where I used to get my albums. I remember getting Jodeci's albums and so on. When a place like this closes, it really does signal something deeper than a business decision. It tells us that the spaces that give Bermuda its soul are under real pressure. Then when you zoom out, you see a pattern. Looky Looky, which was not around, not as long, certainly, as the Music Box, but they supported local vendors and Bermudian-made products, recently announced that they're going to be done by the end of this month. The Harbor Master, nearly 50 years in Hamilton, also now closing. Different types of businesses, but the same story. Rising rents, changing consumer habits, online competition, fewer people lingering in town, and the growing sense that our brick and mortar community spaces are disappearing one by one. Today's conversation isn't just about retail closures, though. It's about what kind of Bermuda we're becoming. Are we comfortable losing the places that give us character, creativity, and connection? Or do we decide that some spaces, local shops, cultural hubs, are worth protecting intentionally? Once they're gone, they don't come back easily. And some questions that people have said on the low, but expressed out loud, is, are we heading to a space where the only businesses that receive support are the big ones, the international ones, the ones that represent global power and not local empowerment? Folks, you see the question of the morning. What are your thoughts on local retailers shutting their doors? And do you believe Bermuda is doing enough to protect local cultural spaces and retailers? Let's go a bit deeper. The Music Box in particular is a cultural loss, not just a retailing loss. I remember going there and people playing instruments in the store, and people, I'm talking diverse people, like groups of people, young people who were getting new reggae albums, people who were getting new guitars. Like, it was just a space where people gathered. Whether you were just a music lover, whether you were a musician, DJ, this was a space where people went for decades. Its closure represents creative opportunity, community connection, authentic tourism experience is gone, Now, it can easily be said, of the things that Music Box sold, no one buys vinyl or CDs anymore. They get everything through the internet, right? They download their music. Fair enough. Instruments, well, people are hitting up Amazon or other online sites. It's kind of interesting because, Amazon is like this love-hate relationship, right? As convenient as it may be, I think the consumer, it's really on the consumer, not the government and legislation or policy. It's really on the consumer. And it's like I say all the time as it relates to Bermuda. We can be our own worst enemy. We have decisions to make, right? It's this balance that we need to find as Bermudians. So we go to a local retailer and something is $40, and then we see on Amazon, well, it's only $15.99. What we're not understanding with that $40, when that $40 circulates in our economy, it's more than just, a profit for the company. Someone else is employed, right? And you're keeping money flowing because that business stays open, and that business staying open may keep the electricity bill down because it's an extra person that Belco gets to charge rather than losing that and now having to raise your bill so that they don't lose money. Does that make sense? So while it may seem cheaper in the short term and, to go on Amazon and spend that 15 versus the 40, it's actually doing more damage, and it's probably going to be more costly in the end. I know we don't think like that, but I'm encouraging us to try to. You know how I always say that a lot of our problems are within? This is a perfect example of our problems being within. Looky Looky closing. And while Looky Looky was not around for long, the concept of promoting and selling local vendors was something special that I don't truly believe we're going to appreciate until it's no longer there. I mean, I got the opportunity to shop there a couple times. I know some of my relatives went there to get things for Christmas. I know things are changing, but something about this doesn't feel good. Harbor Master, another one, been there for years, and I know things have changed there as well, people's retail habits. And to be clear, some folks just want to retire. They put in all they can put in, and makes sense to retire versus selling the business. It's important to note, and I think this is the other thing, because when businesses close, so many people think, oh, well, they were failing. That's not true. Some people get out before failure becomes an option. These were established, trusted businesses. And they had to deal with the common pressures that many local retailers, small businesses are facing in Bermuda right now. High rents and operating costs. As mentioned, the online shopping and overseas spending. Declining foot traffic in Hamilton. Tourism seasonality. Lack of targeted support for local retail and cultural spaces. All three of these businesses are located in the city of Hamilton. Why should this matter to each and every one of you? As I mentioned, when businesses close, people lose jobs. Youth pathways, whether it's music, arts, entrepreneurship, all of these things are impacted when these businesses close. The loss of vibrancy in the city. Loss of authentic Bermuda for visitors. We must ask ourselves, are we unintentionally designing an economy where only large players survive? Culture becomes optional. Community spaces disappear quietly. Or do we step in as consumers and policymakers and landlords and community members to protect what makes Bermuda feel like home? Again, audience, the question is on you. This is your daily discussion brought to you by Titan Express and Secure. What are your thoughts on local retailers shutting their doors? Do you shop local? And do you believe Bermuda is doing enough to protect local cultural spaces and retailers? Yes or that's a yes or no. Just a yes or no for that question. But let us know. What are your thoughts? We've got Suzanne Ingham says, let's read it from the side. She says, it's very depressing to know that local businesses are closing. It bothers me, especially when they are so talented and so unique. Looky Looky, I love that shop. And Miss Eve Mrs. Eve, was the bomb on the lower level. It was a local meetings place. Music Box was the bomb on Reed Street. Sheesh, it's so depressing. I hate when our local shops close. Yeah. It's sad to see. It's sad to see. And my hope is that we, the locals, the consumers, the Bermudian people, understand the role we play in this. My hope is that we understand that this is not necessarily just a government problem, right? This is a us problem. How we decide to spend our dollars will be a reflection, right? It's a reflection of the economy we live in. We've spoken about this on this show before, folks. You know what it is. Let's be more conscious. Now, again, we may not know the exact detail down to a T why any local business closes. But I guarantee you all of us could have done something differently to ensure they remained open. Again, I understand we're living in a different time where people are, more tight with their dollars. I'll give you the example I gave earlier. But if you are spending, let's say you go even cheaper. If you're spending $10 on an item on Amazon or Shein or whatever, and a similar or same item is $30, $35 in Bermuda, while you think that you're saving, you're actually not. You're not. Because while it may be $10, $10 on Amazon, and the shipping, that money is leaving your economy. That $30, $35, not only is it staying in your economy, but it's helping to keep other things low for you. We have a people problem in Bermuda. We need people to be employed in Bermuda. We need people to be housed in Bermuda. We need people to grocery shop in Bermuda. Economies come down to margins and scales. And not enough of us seem to understand how economies work. And if we understood it and collectively supported local, I guarantee you, we wouldn't look at local retailers as being too expensive. We wouldn't look at local retailers of taking us advantage of us. The best example I can give, I was doing retail at one point. And as a local retailer in Bermuda, we have a volume problem. There's only so many people. And I've given this example on the show before, but I'm going to say it again. Walmart and Target can order 1 million shirts in the same size, spread them across all their stores, and pay probably 20 cents per shirt and sell them for $11. That same shirt for Bermuda, we may only be able to purchase 100. And instead of paying 11 cents, we're paying $11, right, due to volume. And so now that shirt is probably going to be $20, $22 in Bermuda. That's how it works, folks. And I know I'm probably not telling some of you anything new, but I know a lot of people just think that things are expensive in Bermuda for no reason because stores are evil or retailers are bad people and just want to be millionaires and billionaires. No. I'm going to tell you here and now, anyone in the retail or grocery business in Bermuda, it's almost like a service sometimes. If there are any retailers or grocers or business owners out there, please feel free to jump in and tell me I'm wrong. All right. But you are the experts. I'm telling you what I know from a small scale in dealing with it. But audience, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on local retailers shutting their doors? We've got Music Box, we've got Looky Looky, we've got Harbor Master. And do you believe Bermuda is doing enough to protect local cultural spaces and retailers? Richard Scott says the mindset of consumers has changed, which has invariably had an impact on the existence of small businesses. The survival of the fittest, survival of the consumer versus the survival of the producer. Indeed. Absolutely. I think my question this morning is whether that mindset is accurate in terms of, does it reflect reality? Like on the surface, it seems like, as I just said, it makes sense to go shop outside of Bermuda because it's much cheaper. It makes sense. But when you start to think and you write down details, okay, I paid $5, but that same shirt's $20 in Bermuda. Because I paid that $20, somebody's employed in Bermuda. Somebody gets health insurance in Bermuda. They shop at the grocery store. They have a Belco bill. Now, if I don't pay this in Bermuda, that means somebody's out of a job. Taxes probably rise. Somebody don't have a Belco bill to pay. That means Belco is getting rise because they lose a customer. They're going to take it out on those who still have a bill. I just hope this is making sense to everyone. I do. Not trying to lecture, but just having a brainstorm with you all. Our local economy is dependent. You ever heard that thing? When I was in the Bermuda Regiment, when I was in the Army, they always said we're only as strong as our weakest link. And at this time, local retail is probably that. And I'm going to say our economy is only as strong as our local and small businesses. I think Craig Simmons has said as much on this show as well. I'm pretty sure. All right, folks, this is your daily discussion brought to you by Titan Express and Secure. Richard Scott says, on the surface, most will be attracted to the lower price, hence the attraction to the word sale. Absolutely. Absolutely. On the surface, because again, I get it. We are wired that way. I get it. And that's why I don't want to come across demeaning. I want to come across as this is a brainstorm session, because I feel like if we take this conversation that we're having this morning and we engage people at work who may not even think about it this way, engage our families and friends at the football game, like, I don't need credit for this, because all of us should be having these conversations. But we have to understand the bigger impact here. Adeline Stevenson Swan says, Shein and Amazon now rule the world. Yeah. But again, if we're not educating people, or people have no clue on how, and folks, I shop on Amazon. I'm not going to sit here and act like I don't. I do. So I'm not excluding myself from the problem. That's why I'm having it, because I'm part of it. We have to continue this conversation. We have to take this conversation in spaces where we know it can make a difference. All right, folks, that's your daily discussion brought to you by our friends at Titan Express and Secure. Let's show them some love. Then we'll go to Teo Dill for your daily hour news break. Then we've got a very special guest, Lisa Reed, coming out from the Human Rights Commission. We're talking about the age discrimination public consultation. Let's show some love to Titan Express and Secure.
The daily discussion is brought to you by Titan Express and Secure. Titan Express delivers safe, professional, and reliable transportation and tours across the island. From island tours to cultural experiences, they set the standard. And Secure is your go-to for property management, waste management, and residential and commercial services. Visit securebda.com. Professional, punctual, and reliable service is their commitment to you.
All righty. Thank you so much to Titan Express and Secure. Let's go to Teo Dill for your Daily Hour News Break.
Good morning, I'm Teo Dill, and welcome to your TDH News Break, brought to you by the great folks at People's. 41 years behind us, a new chapter ahead. People's Pharmacy, always here for you. Now, Bermuda is set to become the first fully on-chain national economy. This from Premier David Burt at the World Economic Forum annual meeting, announcing that Circle and Coinbase, two of the leading digital asset marketplaces, will support the project by providing their digital asset infrastructure to our island in a comprehensive way to make this transition as smooth as possible. Now, presuming that you're in the group who doesn't really understand what any of that means, which we think describes most of us, here's a summary of what being on the blockchain means in practice and why it matters.
Every time a transaction happens, say you send crypto to a friend, it gets recorded on a block. When the block fills up, it gets locked, sealed with cryptographic proof, and linked to the one before it. That's what forms the blockchain, a chain of data blocks locked in sequence and nearly impossible to alter. So why does it matter? Because once that data is recorded, you can't just go back and change it. You'd have to rewrite every single copy on the network. That's why blockchain is known for immutability. Once it's in for good. And here's the key. There's no bank, no company, no middleman.
Now, this announcement has made global news. A country committing to the blockchain on a national level is pretty much unprecedented. To prove I'm not exaggerating, just Google Bermuda, hit the news tab, and restrict the time to today. Dozens of globally relevant outlets have published stories about this. And again, it's a big deal. In related news, our government has announced a new partnership with Filecoin Foundation that's more about preserving national data than active commerce. The new initiative means that selected government records will be uploaded to the Filecoin network in collaboration with Internet Archive as part of its Global Democracies Library project. Officials say the move will ensure Bermuda's public records will remain accessible, transparently so, and verifiable by reducing reliance on centralized systems. Remember what we learned about the blockchain earlier, right? It all kind of makes sense. The first data sets will include labor and employment documents, with additional government records planned to go up in future phases. All of this further reinforces Bermuda's role as a leader in digital governance and data integrity. So even though I explained it, you are a regular person. And as a regular person, you maybe don't completely understand everything I just said. So I went to Filecoin's YouTube page and found a video explaining what, how, and why they do what they do to hopefully clarify what this new commitment about our record storage actually means for us here in Bermuda.
Filecoin's mission is to create a decentralized, efficient, and robust foundation for humanity's information. We truly believe humanity's most valuable resource is information, and we're incredibly passionate about storing and protecting that resource in an efficiently priced and distributed way. This really means addressing some of the major problems with today's storage infrastructure. Decentralizing the cloud away from a small number of centralized providers, giving users full control over their data, turning data storage pricing into an efficient market, allowing the network to set prices rather than a corporate pricing department. And lastly, making storage verifiable to ensure that when someone says they're storing your files, they actually are.
And now that we're squarely in 2026 and are taking a look at all the globally relevant news that our island is a key part of now, I found an interesting aviation oddity that you might not be aware of. That is, a whole lot of Russian aircraft were actually registered in Bermuda, or at least there used to be. According to the Bermuda Civil Aviation Authority, by the end of 2025, Russian airlines had deregistered at least 43 planes from Bermuda, most of them coming from Aeroflot. In fact, more than 360 Russian aircraft have been pulled from foreign registries altogether. The obvious question is, why were so many Russian planes registered here in the first place? Well, before the illegal invasion of Ukraine, most Russian airlines leased planes from Western companies and registered them in neutral, trusted jurisdictions like ours to protect the plane's value and make them easier to resell globally. Once the war sanctions hit, everything changed. The people leasing the planes wanted a MAC, Russia banned exports, and we here in Bermuda suspended airworthiness certificates, which kept the aircraft on the ground and forced the Russians to re-register them at home. The entire process has been one of those quiet, behind-the-scenes consequences of war that most people never really see, but it has been massive for global aviation. Now, weather-wise, yesterday's heavy tank rain is mostly behind us, but you will still need the umbrella today all the same. A cold front to our south will keep skies cloudy with a few showers here and there, but there's going to be periodic sunny breaks, thankfully. The front will push the wind all over the compass while keeping air temps squarely in the mid-60s for most of the day. Tomorrow should look similar, as the same front will reverse itself back into our airspace, keeping conditions gray and gloomy, but not as completely drenched. And that's your TDH News Break, brought to you by our friends at Peoples. I'm Teo Dill. Now back to the show.
Thanks, Taya. That on-chain thing, maybe I'm not, a bright guy, so I have to kind of read to understand a bit more. Now, I would love to believe that this is in Bermuda's best interest and that Bermuda will do well from it. Teo said it. Teray and I, we all spoke about it. As of today, I may say that David Burt as premier is the worst in my lifetime, but 10 years from now, I may say something differently. Maybe this is the thing that makes us say he was actually a genius many years from now. I don't know, but definitely have to try to understand it. As far as the data storage, I actually like the idea of a few companies not owning all of our data and us having more control over our storage, our data storage. But then there's the Mias and the Terays of the world who make me consider, how does this impact the environment? Things we don't think about when we're talking about technology. So I don't want to give an opinion on something that I really don't understand right now on the surface. It would be unfair and probably wrong of me to do that. But I don't know if I'm the only one. I don't know how you feel, audience, but something, I don't know. I want to give things a chance, but I don't want to be naive because I have a tendency to do that. Alrighty. Well, today, days of the year, folks, it is Thank Your Mentor Day. Thank Your Mentor Day. So I want to ask you all, on this farm, as part of Thank Your Mentor Day, publicly, thank your mentor. I'll go first. So I'm going to choose people who are not relatives. Mentors, I'm going to say Glenn Blakeney, Elroy Smith, Scott Pierman. These three men gave me an opportunity that really shaped my career professionally. A lot of learning. I learned a lot with them. My former boss from Radio Disney, who I keep in touch today, over 21 years ago, Jackie, she's been great. My friend and good friend, Tamara, at Peoples. Some harsh advice at times, but definitely appreciate it. Charles H. Jeffers II. I've been a great advisor in terms of business, but quite a lot of people, mentor-wise. But I would thank all of them for always having the time to give feedback and provide insight as to how I can help myself do better and help others. But for Thank a Mentor Day audience, let us know, who are some of your mentors? Who's someone that you would thank for being a mentor? Don't be shy. Don't be shy. I just shared about 6 people with you. But yeah, those would be some of the people I would say. Who else I'm going to say? I'm going to say, and they haven't been in my life long, but they've given me some critical advice over the last few years. Patrick Tannick, I'll add him to that as well. He's given me some insight over the last few years that I greatly have appreciated. And trust me, you all have benefited from some of the advice that he's given. So I will consider Patrick a mentor as well. Who else? Audience, do you have any mentors? Who's someone you would thank? We're going to take our break real quickly. Let us know if you have anyone you would like to thank for Thank a Mentor Day. And when we come back, we've got our guest for the day. We've got Lisa Reed coming on from the Human Rights Commission. We're going to be discussing age discrimination, the public consultation in a few. So stick with us. In the meantime, whatever platform you are streaming on, give us a like, love, follow, share the link with your friends, your family, your colleagues, and we'll see you back in a few. Stick with us.
People's ACW, located at King Edward VII Memorial Hospital, carries over-the-counter medicines, toys, cards, and even toiletries. Our knowledgeable staff are there whether you're at emergency, visiting family, or a member of BHP staff, to show you our best even when you're feeling your worst. People's ACW, we're here for you.
Take a look at our workbook for construction workers and tradesmen. Durable, stretchable in all the right places, and plenty of options for tools and accessories. Paired with our wide range of tough and comfortable footwear, you can't go wrong. As you can see, Medical House really is a one-stop shop for everybody. We can't wait to see you.
See it all at our new expanded location on Bakery Lane.
Discover Drop It, your go-to grocery delivery. Browse and select from a wide range of groceries, from fresh produce to daily essentials. Our friendly drivers deliver fresh groceries to your door fast, saving you time and hassle. With Drop It, you get fresh groceries delivered fast so you can focus on what really matters. Drop It, freshness at your doorstep, delivered to your door with Lindo's. Why go anyplace else?
For over 70 years, Bermuda Pest Control has been protecting homes and businesses island-wide. We offer a full suite of services, including rodent control, termite fumigation, and general insect control and maintenance. Our team of experts will quickly and efficiently eliminate any pest problem you may have. With Bermuda Pest Control, you can enjoy a pest-free home in no time. We're committed to providing fast, reliable, and solution-driven services for our customers. It's what we've been doing since 1952. Call Bermuda Pest Control today and say goodbye to pests for good.
Alrighty, welcome back to the Big Show. Jamal Hartman here. It's the Daily Hour, brought to you by the BAC Group of Companies, Medical House, Lindo's, People's Pharmacy, and big love to Hot 1075. Folks, do not forget to subscribe on our website. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. Also, the 2026 Bermuda Idol Finals will be held in March again this year, and the winner will receive a beautiful trophy and $5,000. There'll be over $10,000 awarded in additional prizes to various contestants that make the finals. So be sure to audition this Saturday at Hot 1075, anytime between 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. If you bring your best voice and song choice, 2026 could be your year. So why not audition this Saturday between 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. Join the open auditions at Hot 1075. You must be Bermudian or married to a Bermudian. All right, folks. So get your voice ready. Clear that throat. All righty. I did ask you all, who are some of your mentors? And we got Allison Russell says, Mrs. Dora Whitecross taught me many great things about work ethic. You all don't have many mentors, huh? I got you. All righty. Well, let's bring in our very special guest today. Been on numerous times. We love having Lisa on from the Human Rights Commission. Give a warm TDH welcome to Lisa Reed. Happy. Is it too late to still say Happy New Year or Happy 2026?
No, I still oftentimes will address my email as hope your new year is off to a good start. So
okay, perfect. Happy 2026 to you. Welcome for the first time this year, Lisa. Hopefully not the last. But I gotta ask you before we jump into anything. I just asked the audience, and they don't really like have mentors that they want to tell anyone about publicly. But did you do a very important job? Was there someone outside of your family who inspired you in this space that has mentored you and helped you along the way?
Gosh, well, I was actually going to share my sixth grade teacher, Mrs. Kappa at Mount St. Agnes. She's long since retired. But so what's interesting is she helped me at a very important time in my life. I had to repeat the fifth grade, and it was a traumatic experience not progressing with your classmates. And when I got to the 6th grade, she just helped me to understand. She presented the information so much more easily for me, and I got it. And after my experience of being in her class, where she taught, she was compassionate, she was such a caring person. It transformed my educational foundation going forward. So after that, I developed different study habits, and it led to my success, I would say. And I always think back to her as my life was absolutely changed because of what she poured into me.
I love
So
that.
she wasn't necessarily a mentor, but
Yeah.
she was foundational and did provide mentorship to me as an educator. And so shout out to all the educators out there, but especially Mrs. Kappa.
You just sent me on this big guilt trip without really meaning to. Because I have some. I mean, I was that child that needed that kind of direction. So I had so many people that helped my mom and father. So, no, that's incredible, and I think that shout out's necessary, especially with what they do with today. Real quickly, we'll get to today's conversation, but we had a discussion about local retailers. I want to ask you: do you have a local retailer that no longer exists that if it could come back, who would it be?
Well, of course, Looky Looky. I mean, it was when I saw Miss Eve's announcement on social media, my heart sank because all throughout the holidays, I was all up in there getting all sorts of fun gifts for friends, family, and being a collective of entrepreneurs. It's such a unique concept. And so I think it did well until it's no more. And Looky Looky is going to be a tremendous loss on our retail landscape for sure.
It is, especially the local product only. I think, it's one of those things. Like I said earlier, we're not going to really appreciate how much we're going to miss it until we don't have the option to go there. But hopefully we can address that. But Lisa, again, thank you for being with. You heard this morning, you're the executive director of the Human Rights Commission. Just before we get into the meat of today's conversation, I always say there's probably someone or people who have not tuned in to the show before or may not know what the HRC does or who you are. Just explain your role and what the organization's mandate is.
So the Human Rights Commission is Bermuda's national human rights institution, which means at the national level, it has a legal mandate to protect and promote human rights. And our mission is to ensure that every individual is treated with dignity, fairness, regardless of race, sex, disability, religion, sexual orientation, marital status, or other human characteristics. And the Commission is responsible for the administration of the Human Rights Act. And the Act provides Bermuda's legal framework in addition to the Constitution. And our legislation provides for the ability to investigate complaints of discrimination. We also educate the public, and we support efforts towards inclusion and equality. And so beyond addressing formal complaints, we also work actively to provide training, we engage the community, and we also provide policy guidance to foster a more just and inclusive Bermuda.
Indeed. Thank you for that. And audience, if you have any questions or comments this morning, send them through. We'll get through as many as possible. Today, we're discussing the Human Rights Commission's consultation on age discrimination. Tell us a bit about that.
Sure. So just to give a little bit of background, the Commission has conducted several public consultations. Last year's consultation was on disability inclusion, and that report is on our website at humanrights.bm. And this year, we are conducting a public consultation on age discrimination. And so the purpose of this consultation is to understand the lived experiences, views, and perspectives, including experiences in the workplace and other areas of life in Bermuda. And the consultation is structured in 3 ways. So there is the survey, which is available on our website at humanrights.pm. We will also be having or conducting stakeholder meetings with various stakeholders, so large employer groups. And the third leg of the public consultation is a community conversation. So we will be inviting members of the public to join us on February 20th to attend a gathering where they will hear from two people in the field who have interest and understanding in age discrimination and how it shows up in our lived experiences. And as well, members of the public will work together to identify where the barriers are, the experiences that they have had, and give suggestions as to how we could remove those barriers. And so the consultation, the results of the consultation will inform the Commission's recommendation to include age as a protected ground in employment and the workplace within the Human Rights Act.
Can you just real quickly tell us, for those who don't know, like what are the current protections in the human rights? It's gender, sex. What are the current protections?
So place of origin, national origin, disability, marital status, domestic partnership, religion.
Okay.
And there's also
I just because I know some people probably I'm just going to say generally it's not something people think about. So I just was like I wonder if people know what some of the protections are and why this is necessary. And when compared, because folks, I have to kind of read other places before I do this. There are some countries who have absolutely none, and some have 3 or 4. And then some have had age discrimination for decades, right? So
absolutely.
I just wanted to give context for those who may not know what the protections are. So didn't mean to put you on the spot like that.
No. That's a great question. And I do want for members of the public to understand what their rights are. And as it relates to age, the legislation was amended in 2012 to provide protection from age discrimination, except employment. So there is protection for discrimination based on age in the area of if you're receiving goods. So for instance, if you are at a restaurant or in a grocery store or any sorts of service related area. So goods, facilities, and services, age applies in that area of the act. And as well as it relates to accommodation. So if you are renting or wishing to buy property, there is protection from age discrimination. However, Section 6 of the Act, which deals with employment, there is no protection. And hence the reason why the Commission is keen to understand people's lived experiences, specifically as it relates to the workplace, but as well other areas where they may be or may have observed, maybe experienced or may have observed discriminatory treatment based on age or harassment.
Interesting. Just can you explain, just go a bit deeper on the difference between the Human Rights Commission's consultation and the policy document put out by the government on retaining older workers?
So yes, we found out that the government, or we learned of the government's release of their policy on retaining older workers, guidance, not policy, their guidance document on retaining older workers over the age of 65. And this, we're very pleased to see this because this will surely be assistive to employers on how to retain or hire older workers. And I think it provides information that's really important in supporting older workers in the workplace and why it's important for Bermuda's economy. The distinction between the two is that the Commission's public consultation is an opportunity for members of the public to share their thoughts, their insights, experiences, and observations on whether or not they've experienced age discrimination in the workplace. And what's also important to note is that our consultation is covering it's people of all ages. So whether you are 18 or 81 or beyond, the survey is anonymous and it applies to everyone. We all have an age and we all have a perspective. And so anyone who has experienced or observed discrimination based on age, we want to hear from them.
Well, it's been said throughout Bermuda in so many different circles that we have a seriously aging population. Why are you conducting this consultation now? Is that part of the reason?
Well, it is. And the commission continues to receive, although it's not protected in the area of employment, we still receive complaints from individuals who allege that they have either been terminated or not promoted because of their age. So we recognize that it still is a huge area of concern for people within our community. And so I shared in 2013, the act was amended to provide the protection. But again, we continue to observe reports of workplace-related discrimination that are not protected in the act. And so the other important point is that the commission has previously recommended the protection be added, and we are again relaunching that effort to see where the community's concerns are and to provide that documentation in terms of a report to the government.
Can you remind people how they can participate?
Sure. So the survey is electronic and it can be found on our website, which is humanrights.bm. The survey takes about 20 minutes to complete, and the deadline is Friday, February 13th.
Okay.
And Jamel, if you don't mind, I wanted to just tease out some examples for people. So it might be where someone has experienced, as I shared, has someone felt that they were disadvantaged because of their age? Did they feel that they were looked over? Were they denied an opportunity because of their age? And so I want people to think about, and your audience to think about, how discrimination based on age can show up in their lived experience. Were you made to retire because of your age?
Interesting. Because a lot of people, probably just won't think of certain things. They may think of other things, but not age, because it's something normal.
That's exactly right. I think what we've seen is a normalization of discriminatory treatment based on age, where culturally it's almost as if it's seemingly this is the norm, that this is expected. But surely we all deserve to have our rights protected based on age.
Well, so I guess I want to go a bit clear, because how does age discriminate? Like, I almost want to give an example. So let's say someone, I know someone, and Bermuda's so small, so I have to be very careful, but someone that's, say, 60, they had a job for a very long time, that position's made redundant, they put out applications, can't find work. Again, they've been in the workforce, have very successful experience, but every time they look, they're not getting the opportunity. The latest they told me is that one of the jobs, they said, well, the person has to have the ability to work in another country as well. I was like, well, that would be something I'd be sending Jason Hayward, right? But it's, for me, I believe I've worked in some of the most racist organizations that exist. But race is always so hard to prove. They make it so hard to prove. How does one go about proving that age is the reason? Like that's the part. It's like we know it is. Like we all know it, but it's like how do we prove it?
So for me personally, how I experience difference in treatment. For me, it's a gut feeling. It's that something might not be right about this situation. And what we encourage people to do is to document the incidents. And most importantly, if you feel that you may have been discriminated, contact the Human Rights Commission. So contact us, call us at 295-5859, email us at info@humanrights.bm, or walk in, visit us. An intake officer will work with individuals to understand what they have experienced and identify where the legislation might apply. And in instances, if an individual in the instance that we're not able to, in the chance that the legislation does not have jurisdiction over a specific complaint, we're going to refer people to appropriate agencies and avenues. So, but most importantly, come to the commission. If you feel that you may have been discriminated against, contact us, walk in, visit us, call us. And also on our website, humanrights.bm, there is lots of information on rights, whether you are trying to understand your own rights, whether you are an organization who wants to protect the rights of your employees, or as well, there are judgments from the Human Rights Tribunal. So we have an independent Human Rights Tribunal. The Act provides for that. And the tribunal issues judgments based on cases that have come through the commission for adjudication. And so you will see how the tribunal has determined matters. And so it's a long record of, or long history of how the commission has treated complaints and how those matters were resolved one way or another. So most importantly, if you feel you were discriminated against, come to the commission.
Okay. I wish I would have done that. Charles H. Jeffs II, he says, coming home, I was surprised to see that employment contracts expired at 65 and that once someone turns 65, it can only be renewed for 1 year. In the US, an employer can't ask age-related questions. Is this something that we're looking to identify and solve as well through the public consultation?
Well, Mr. Jeffers raises the right question. Isn't it curious that at the age of 64 and you've performed well, you wish to work, however, at the age of 65, all of a sudden, I'm now made to retire because of this basis of contract based on age. And so, yes, indeed, if someone is performing well and doing what's required of the job and wishes to work, it's a curious proposition that now at the age of 65, I have to retire. As we know, there are people who may need to work beyond, but as well, there are also people who look forward to retiring at a particular point in their life, but where people wish to work, are able to work, and are performing, it is a curious proposition.
Dr. Anthony Richardson is asking, do you have to pay a fee to have your case assessed?
Absolutely not. Our services are free. So yeah, in essence, anyone can come to the commission. Someone will work with the person so that we understand what has happened or what the person is sharing, and just talk a little bit about the complaint process. Once we are clear and understand the complaint, with the complainant's permission, we then contact the potential respondent and we advise them of the complaint. And if the matter is determined that it is genuine, then it is referred for investigation. And if an investigation, the matter is not resolved through our voluntary mediation program, then it is referred for adjudication. As you guys can see, the sun is in my face. But yes, at the end of an investigation, if it is determined that the complaint has merit, then it's referred for adjudication, and the adjudication is conducted by the Independent Human Rights Tribunal.
Okay. Before you head out, just remind people who should take the survey and remind them about how they can find it.
Everyone, please take the survey. All members of the public, whether you're 18, 81, or beyond. Age can affect anyone at any stage of their life. So we encourage everyone to participate. We encourage employees with workplace experiences, employers and policymakers. We encourage to take the survey. And also, if someone needs an accommodation, they can email, they can phone us, or they can visit the office, and someone will provide support. And also hard copies will be available. And I also wanted to share really quickly that we are going to be having what we're calling soup, sandwich, and survey dates. So we're going to populate our calendar on our website with a couple of dates leading up to the closing of the survey, which is February 13th, with an opportunity to pop by the office at lunchtime, pick up a sandwich, have some soup, and complete the survey. So we will let the public know what those dates are. But if you check back to our website, humanrights.bm, you will see those in our calendar shortly.
All right, Lisa, thank you so much. Another helpful community conversation. Folks, you know what to do. Fill out this survey. Lisa, until next time, have a wonderful day.
Thanks, Jamel. Talk soon.
Right. Lisa Reed, folks, from the Human Rights Commission. If you appreciated that conversation, please give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. Charles H. Jefferson II, he says, I see it's still Christmas in the Reed household. Absolutely, Charles. It's always jolly. He goes on to say, with people living longer, 65 seems very young. Like all employees, should be judged on their performance, not their age. Indeed, Charles. We're going to take our final break. Folks, in the meantime, if you're streaming with us on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, Axel, Instagram, make sure you give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. Make sure you repost it. Make sure everyone you know, your friends, your family, your colleagues have access to these most important community conversations. And let's get this survey filled out. We'll be back in a few. I want to test your knowledge. It's an easy one today, but I mean it.
Dreaming of expanding your business? With BDC's Loan Guarantee Program, we support your ambitions. Get up to 75% guarantee on bank or credit union loans up to $300,000. Just your vision and our support. Apply today and unlock new business opportunities. BDC, Bermuda business starts here.
Looking for the best care for your pets? Nova's Ark Feed and Supply has everything you need, from top quality foods to toys and supplies. We've got it all. Join our frequent buyer program and earn rewards every time you shop. Plus, we've been awarded the Clever Customer Initiative program for helping you save more. And don't forget, we open an hour early on Saturdays so you can get a head start on your pet care. Visit us today or shop online for easy pickup or delivery. Your pets will thank you.
Every space has a message, whether it's a store, a government office, or a doctor's waiting room. With Store Tunes Radio, transform your environment with customized music and professional messaging that keeps people informed, engaged, and at ease. Easy to use, built for organizations of every kind. Powered by Bermuda Communications Group. Store Tunes Radio, the soundtrack to better customer experiences. Visit storetunesradio.com to learn more. Alrighty, welcome back to the big show. Thanks again to Lisa Reed from the Human Rights Commission for that important community conversation. Folks, do not forget, go check them out, fill out the survey, let everyone you know, get them to fill out the survey. The more, the better. The more information we provide, the better decisions that can be made in our interest. All right. Thanks again to the BAC group of companies, Medical House Lenders, People's Pharmacy. A big love to Hot 1075 for ensuring that we can do this with you on a daily basis. It's time for the Daily Play, brought to you by Bermuda Trivia, now available at stores throughout Bermuda. Follow Bermuda Trivia on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X, and TikTok to find out why it's Bermuda's favorite trivia game. All right, audience, are you ready? It is music today, music-related question. And this is an easy question, and I mean it. As of 2022, what is the #1 best-selling album of all time? No one got that, huh? My goodness, I mean, just take a guess. I thought that was the easiest music question we've had it could only be one album, folks. Like, I didn't even need to look. I did not even need to look at the answer. Let me just check, make sure. No one got it. There was not an album called MJ, unfortunately. There was not an album called MJ. No one knows this. You all are Googling at this point if you get it. No one knows this. I'll ask, there you go. Traveling Trotty. There we go. My goodness. I thought everyone would have gotten that. Sherilyn Johnson. There you go. You got it. Thriller. Thriller, as of 2022, was the #1 album, best-selling album of all time. Nana Pam Wade got it as well. I thought it was easy. I thought, it could only be one person, but then the name of the album had to come. All right, folks, we got to wrap it up, let you all go. But as far as the conversation this morning about local retailers, look, man, it is sad to see. And I hope you all, I hope my words meant something. I hope you understood what I was trying to say. We are part of the retail problem. And some of you I have conversations with offline, and I know how you feel. You think that, people are charging you too much in Bermuda, this and that. I tell you what, the more you spend outside of Bermuda, the more things are going to increase. Because as stores and places disappear, trust me, less people working means more people the working have to make up for. Let that really sink in. As far as the conversation with Lisa Reed, I think it's extremely important for us to take this seriously. Just found it interesting that they had protections for age in accommodations and other spaces, but not employment. That's very interesting. And as we have an aging population, so many people, some of you who tune into this show, are great, are excellent at the jobs that you do. I would hate to see you be told that because you had a birthday, you are no longer employed. Age should not be a deciding factor in whether someone is able to do a job or not. It's about the ability to deliver the results that the expected position is required to do. Got to give you some daily inspiration. So let's bring out a little bookie book for you. All right. I don't know how to pronounce this guy's name, but it's from Robert T. Kiyosaki. That's what we're going with. And the quote is, "The single most powerful asset we all have is our mind. It is trained well. It can create enormous wealth." Do what you will with that, folks. It's time to say holla back. Don't forget to subscribe on our website. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. Thanks again to our partners, the BAC group of companies, Medical House, Lindo's, People's Pharmacy, and big love to Hot 1075 for ensuring that we're able to do this with you on a daily basis. As always, we appreciate you, we love you, and we thank you for making us part of your daily routine. If all goes well, we'll be back to do this again with you tomorrow. I'm Jamal Hartman. Please do make it a safe and a great day. We are is out. Peace.